Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the last day of March. It is March 31st, 2022, and it is the end of the month, the conclusion of the quarter. And according to the Wall Street Journal, stocks are on pace for the worst quarter in 2 years despite a strong finish. I'm just going to give everybody a forewarning. We may need to cut the stream short tonight due to a severe thunderstorm warning a severe thunderstorm and rainstorm that is in effect here for New York. So just be aware of that. We may have to cut the stream short. But the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the Nasdaq, and the S&P 500 all declined more than 1.5% on Thursday, with losses accelerating in the final hour of the trading session as traders dumped stocks into the end of the quarter. The declines have dragged the S&P 500 down 4.9% over the past 3 months, snapping a 7-quarter winning streak for the indice. The Dow Jones Industrial Average and the Nasdaq Composite have lost 4.6% and 9.1%, respectively. As we look over to crude oil, we have sold off from a record high of $130 a barrel all the way down to about $100 a barrel, holding tight at the 50-day moving average. But if we do crack the 50-day moving average on higher than normal volume on crude, I think we can conclusively say this may be a little bit of a pause for the commodity cycle. Last thing I'll say before we say what's up to everybody in the chat, that yield curve is narrowing, probably coming closer to yet again another inversion. The spread between the 10-year Treasury yield and the 2-year Treasury yield is extremely, extremely narrow. So let's see who we have in the chat tonight. I see Joey. Good to see you. Joey Otto says hi, Tom. The ABX girl is here. Says hey. Sally says hi, Tom. Samantha R is here. Good to see you. Photos from around New York. Always good to see you, my friend. Carol Reevy says good evening, Tom. The ABX girl says storm was bad in North Carolina. The corporate office / plant for Pfizer lost part of their roof. Oh my God. I stopped working in a case. I had to go to a safe place in my apartment. Jeez. Well, ABX girl, I hope everything is well. So we may be having a shorter stream tonight, everybody, due to the potential storm that we could have in New York. So I do apologize if we have to cut it short. I see Alan Wilson is here. Says good evening. Good to see you, Alan. Always good to see you. I see Community Canner says hello, Tom. Today's news was ominous. Earnings will be interesting to watch. Indeed, they will be. But good to see you, Community Counters. I see Melee as well. Good to see you, Melee. So here's the good news, though, in New York. And I'm not sure if you guys could hear the wind noise, because the wind is going to get up to about 45 miles an hour. But we do have the mic warm up quite a bit here in New York. It is about 65 degrees. So that is the good news. The bad news is we're about to get hit with the storm, so we may have to cut the stream short for tonight. Hey, Hemp Lord is here. Says, what's up, Tom? How's it going? It is going really well. Today was obviously the end of the month, end of the quarter, so it was very, very busy at work today. I see Chris Beeman is here. Good to see you, Chris, from the one and only Arizona. Good to see you. Lady O is here. Says, hello, Tom, from New Jersey. What's up, Lady O? Tony Cortez is here. Ruby Falcone. Welcome, everybody. So, Lady O, I'm wondering if the storm has already hit you guys there in New Jersey. So I wonder if the storm already hit in New Jersey. I'm not sure if Florida got hit at all. Hey, Cosmo Scary. What's up, Cosmo? Good to see you. Hope you had a good end of the month, Cosmo. April 1st tomorrow. April 1st. And the wind is just starting to pick up. I'm not sure if you guys could hear that. But we are standing right outside Madison Square Garden on 8th Avenue and West 33rd Street. Yeah, Cosmo Scare says, love the warmth today. I agree. Lady O says, the storm hasn't hit us yet. Pedro is here. Says, hey, bro, how are you? Good to see you. And Rusty is here. Says, hey, Tom, New York City rent is crazy. Indeed it is. New York City rent is insane. Wow, Gregory says Florida had bad tornadoes last night. So I got a notification, Gregory, on my phone that said my house had lost power today. But I'm not sure if it was related to the storm or not. So I think it'll be interesting to see. Hey, Cindy Foley is here. Welcome, Cindy. It's good to see you as always. Christina says, Tom, is cold here in California. It's only 62 degrees, kind of like a cold day in Hawaii. Wow. Yeah, well, the wind is definitely starting to pick up here, too, in New York. But I think there is an event going on at Madison Square Garden. I'm not sure what, though. But maybe we'll start off by walking downtown and then make our way up. Hey, Jay is here. Says, hey, Tom. Good to see you, Jay. So if you guys type !stock, S-T-O-C-K, in the chat, the Nightbot is going to drop a link to a Wall Street Journal article that outlines the stock market performance for the quarter. So even though we had a really nice rally off these lows, stocks did have one of the worst quarters in recent history despite the recent rally. But I think it's important that stocks give back a little bit here. You know, we are extended above that 50-day and 200-day moving average. So I think if we could pull back maybe 2 or 3%, I think that would pose a decent buying opportunity, especially if the yield curve starts to widen a bit. Alan Wilson says, Billy Joel says, hey, from across the street. Alan Wilson, is Billy Joel playing tonight? Let's see. So we're looking at Madison Square Garden across the street. George says, hi and good morning. Good to see you, George. Good to see you, Alan Wilson. Good to see you, Melee. I think I feel the first signs of the raindrops. Hey, Rusty says, hey, Tom, what do you think of this China, ESG score? I think the acronym is ESG. Yeah, so ESG isn't specific to China. ESG stands for environmental and social governance. So a lot of firms on Wall Street and many analysts are going to start assigning ESG scores to specific companies because as this new trend of ESG investing starts to roll out, many people think it's nonsense, many people don't think it is, but you know, the environmental and social governance scores will be based upon the environmental integrity of the company, the diversity and inclusion of a company, and so on and so on. But I would just like to say a lot of people on the street think that all of this ESG stuff is a bunch of nonsense. So it's, I think it's pretty split 50-50. I think it's also a way for a lot of the investment managers, portfolio managers to sort of market themselves and appear holier than thou or a little bit better than they are morally, I guess. But in an overreaching facet here, in my view, I think in general, I think it is good for corporations to practice, you know, responsible activities in their corporate hierarchy. That I do agree with. But just like anything, you know, Wall Street will probably make a product out of it, sell a bunch of ESG ETFs and things like that, charge outrageous expenses. Santos says, hello from Detroit. Cosmo Scary says, what do you think personally of the ESG? I kind of gave my opinion on that. I think it's going to be about 50-50. I think half the portfolio managers are actually, you know, wanting to invest into companies that have good practices morally, and then the other half, you know, they're going to market a lot of ETFs, say, hey, buy our ETF because it has a bunch of ESG stocks, and all the stocks we invest in have very high ESG scores, and then they'll just charge a really outrageous expense ratio or something like that. Hey, Bernard Friedman is here. Says, hey, Tom, hope your day was well. Good, as always, to see you live streaming. Well, thank you so much for joining. It may be a short one tonight, everybody, because if it starts lightning, I think it's going to start lightning soon. Jetstar says companies only do ESG so they don't get boycotted. And I think for raising money, too. But look, I think the overarching theme of ESG is a good thing, right? You know, we want a inclusive work environment for everybody. We want companies to not pollute, but you know, with anything, it's going to be turned into some sort of product. I just know it for sure. But Jetstar, it's good to see you, my friend. Somewhat Knowledgeable Geek is here. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Triple G says, walks in Wall Street. Hope you are good. I am very good. Just very busy today, Triple G, for the end of the month and end of the quarter. A lot of fellow account executives trying to close out the month, close out the quarter. I hope everybody had a good first quarter. Brian says, what's up, Tom and everybody? Good to see you, Brian. Hope you are well. Jetstar says, what did you think of Quiver? So Jetstar, to be totally transparent with you, I was going to look at it today, but I was just so slammed because the end of the, not only is the last day of the month extremely, extremely busy for salespeople, but especially when it's coupled with the end of the quarter as well. So, I mean, the phones were ringing off the hook. But I'm going to look at it once I get on the train, and I'll read the email in depth. I just didn't get a chance to do it today. I apologize. Hey, Edson is here. Says, hey, Tom, what's going on? Good to see you, Edson. The wind is starting to pick up. Hope you had a good day, Edson. Somewhat Knowledgeable Geek says, hope you're doing well, Tom. Gloomy day today in the area. Yeah, I mean, over the past couple weeks, I'd say the past 2 weeks, New York has been hit with a string of really bad weather. I see Ruby Falcone here. Good to see you. Exploration says, blue Tesla taxi. Yeah, there was one right on the corner there. Bagels and Walks says, have a nice walk tonight. Thank you so much. Travis Webb says, greetings, Tom, from Oklahoma. Good to see you, Travis Webb. So this is John Calipari. He's a basketball coach. I forget who it's with, though. Is he the basketball coach for Kentucky? Yeah, Brian says, hopefully there won't be any buffering. Photos from around New York says, Tom, it's been cloudy every day. I know. You know, photos from around New York, that's one of the things I really like about Miami, is obviously it's sunny almost every single day. And I don't know, I think it just improves my overall productivity when it's sunny out. I don't know why, just seeing the sun is, I guess, maybe a little bit of like a mood booster. I don't know if it's like an anecdote or a placebo, but yeah, OF says earnings season nears. Yeah, I think it's going to be a crucial earnings season because I think this is going to be the real first earnings season that we'll be able to see the health of a lot of these companies during times of high inflation. So we're going to be watching a lot of the stocks with very, very strong brands, because if we have a CPI print of about 7.9%, I think the thing that's most important if you're going to invest your money is you want to look for companies that have extremely strong brands that are able to pass those price increases on to consumers. So if you're a company with not a particularly strong brand and your raw materials go up 30% and you try to pass that cost on to consumers, you know, maybe they wouldn't be willing to pay that price increase. But let's say if you're a really strong brand like an Apple or something like that, and you have to increase the price of your iPhone by 30%, well, chances are people are going to pay it anyway because you have that strong of a brand. So it'll be interesting to see. It'll definitely be interesting to see this earnings season for sure. Carol Reevy says, Tom, Tesla is opening a car showroom in Eatontown at the Jersey Shore. We'll be selling new and used cars. Wow, I didn't hear that, Carol. That's amazing. So are you saying it's going to be a used car dealership for Teslas? That's really interesting. I'd be interested in learning more about that. Hey, Craig says, hello from sunny Phoenix, Arizona. Dang, yeah. I mean, I just wish we had just a couple days of back-to-back sun here in New York City. Every day I've woken up so far, I walked to the train in like this misty rain and cloudy, but no big deal. Hey, 3030 Tom says, Tom, did you hear what happened on 81 in Pennsylvania? I did not. What happened? Hopefully nothing bad. Hopefully nothing bad. Hey, Oliver Rogers says, hello everybody, just checking in. Good to see you, Oliver. If you guys can look at the steam pipe, you can see just how windy it's getting. You probably can't tell because I have the microphone tonight, but it is getting crazy windy. We're supposed to have gusts upwards of 60 miles an hour tonight. Ruby Falcone, I hope you had a great day today. It's already Friday tomorrow, so end of the week, we made it. It's been a wild month, wild quarter, but we did finish strong, so that is all that matters, is a strong finish. Customers are happy, and that's all that matters. What more can we ask for? So now we are outside of the brand new, the Penn District, so all of these buildings should be complete within the next couple of years. It's going to look amazing here. And I think they're redoing the entire hotel over here too. The ABX girl says, was that the snow squall on 81 in Pennsylvania Monday? I didn't hear about that. OF says, Tom, 3 paychecks in April. Iowa Oak says, that was the 80 car pileup in Pennsylvania. I didn't even hear about that. Well, that's horrible. It always seems to be on those major highways, especially in the Carolinas when there's those hailstorms. It's horrible. Hey, Sebastian says, hey, Tom, good to see you, Sebastian. I hope you're well. NMB 045 says, the sun will come out if you start skateboarding. Yeah, I wish. Hopefully we can get back on the board soon. Cosmo Scary says, Tom, any new coffee spots lately? No new one. Is that a fire going on right there? I think that guy just lit the trash can on fire. Are you guys seeing the same thing I'm seeing? I think that guy... What the frick? Yeah, the trash can is on fire. Hey, pal. No, this way, it's on fire. All right, going the wrong way. Oh, I think he's a security guard calling it in. But yeah, I mean, somebody lit the trash can on fire. It's on 7th. I think he's calling it in. Why would somebody do that? It's insane. I mean, he looks like a security guard, so I think he's calling it in, but... Yeah, Triple G's like right next to the mail depository box. I'm debating on if I should call it in. I think he is calling it in. Well, I mean... I think he is calling it in. Oh my god. Dude, you gotta move this away from it.
Thank you.
Yeah. You called it in, right? Did you call it in? Yeah? Alright, I think we'll get... Hey, WW, good evening, good to see you. Yeah, I think the security guard has got it. I just don't want it to catch fire on everything else and burn the whole place down. But I guess there's really nothing else I could do. I moved the trash away from it. Now it's just the FDNY's time to come and respond to it. Hey, Michelle K, good to see you. So this is the outside of the brand new Pennsylvania station. And this is all going to be brand new, but supposedly it's supposed to be complete in very early 2024. Michelle K says, how are you, Tom? I'm doing good. It was a very busy day, so it's good to get outside. Hopefully the rain will hold off on us tonight. But it's good to see you, Michelle K. Yeah, Alan Wilson says, you said you were cold, I know. Oh, I think they did just dump a bucket of water on it, so I think we're good. Hey, Vinny Castellano is here. Hey, Vinny. It's good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Vinny Castellano is joining us from Staten Island. Always good to see you, Vinny. So I think those mailboxes are no longer in commission. Just an FYI. But in other news, talking about the 30-year fixed-rate mortgage, a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage got as high as 4.789%. We're probably going to see our first print of 5% on a 30-year mortgage, and that should help to bring the prices of single-family homes down a little bit, because if history is any guide, usually when a lot of the single-family home builder stocks, as well as a lot of the REITs, so the real estate investment trusts, usually when those start to roll over, you know, you could probably predict a pretty sizable decline in housing. Now, I don't think we're going to get a total housing fallout, to be honest, but I think we're probably going to see a healthy 15% correction, which I think would probably be actually pretty healthy for the market. But check out the Empire State Building from here. This is one of my favorite views. Yeah, Jerry says dumped a bucket of water. Tony says, what is that noise? I think they're doing a lot of construction. So you're going to see a lot of welding activity going on over there too. So jackhammering, a lot of welding. But supposedly in 2024, this entire area is going to look a lot different. There's going to be brand new office buildings, a lot of new retail space. I think if you Google the Penn District, you'll actually see all of the development plans online. I think they actually laid it out for everybody. Hey, Jake Gans, good to see you. Yes, oh man, we're going to have the thunderstorm and the wind. Well, hopefully it passes. As usually in New York, whenever they say we're going to have a big storm, that's usually when we don't have it, which is good news. Jimmy B, good to see you. Hey, Marty Lewis says, I missed whatever was going on there. Yeah, I think we just had a trash can on fire, but I think it's taken care of now. So here we are, everybody, on 34th Street and 7th Avenue, overlooking the Empire State Building once again. Marty Lewis says, Tom, now New York 1 is saying 10 p.m. for the storm, or later, but you were right, something, yeah, whenever they say it's going to happen, it usually doesn't happen. Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't want a storm for sure, but you could almost feel it in the air that it's going to be, it's probably going to rain really hard for maybe 10, 20 minutes, and then that's it. But good to see you, Marty Lewis. Hey, British Cray. Yeah, so all the major indices were actually down for the day, and stocks finished the quarter one of the worst finishes for the market in recent history. So if you want to read more about it, I did leave a link to a Wall Street Journal article. If you type !stock, S-T-O-C-K, the Nightbot will drop the link where you could read about the historical facts of how the S&P 500, the Dow, and the NASDAQ has closed in previous quarters. But I think one thing everybody's watching right now is that yield curve. So I think the number one aspect that they watch is the 10 and the 2, so that 10-year Treasury and the 2-year Treasury note. Now, the thing to watch is for a yield curve inversion. And what a yield curve inversion is, it's essentially when the shorter term dated bonds are now yielding more than the longer term dated bonds. So when you have a narrowing of that yield curve, that's really the market telling you that the economy isn't that strong. And an inversion of the yield curve, more often than not, 12 months after a yield curve inversion, the economy tends to fall into a recession. So we'll keep our eye on that. OF says not good articles on how the supply of money has made that less viable indicator. Well, please drop it in the chat. We'd love to check it out. I know I'd love to check it out. But I'll give you guys one more shot of the Empire from here. Hey, Business Mail says beautiful contrast to the Empire State Building against the sky. Yeah, it really is, and I think it's a little bit cloudy out tonight too. Jake Gans, did you feel any drops of rain? Oh, a couple today. Good to see you. Photos from around New York. Water Blazing is here. Good to see you, Water Blazing. Tony Jones says, any insight on altcoins? So not really. The only sort of exposure I have to cryptocurrencies are Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think many of the other alternative coins tend to be a little bit too speculative for me, but Tony, we are going to be in Miami. We do have a press pass for the 2022 Bitcoin conference, so we will be there live streaming and covering many of the keynote speakers as well. Hey, Exploration says, what is your favorite month in New York City? Probably July. I think July is probably my favorite, either May or July. Hey, William, welcome, says hello to New York City. Good to see you, William, as always. Hope you're having a good one. So now we are at 34th Street, Herald Square. And this is the front of the Macy's Flower Show here. Hey, Wendy's is May, July, too hot and humid. Yeah, I mean, I tend to like the humidity. I really, really like the hot, humid weather. Somewhat Knowledgeable Geeks, Tom, May, September, and October, temperature-wise for me. Yeah, those are good months. NMB 045 says increased air travel and tourism will be the only thing stopping the recession. I think you're right. You know, the last time I was on a plane, the airports were packed. Miami International Airport was slam packed. JFK was packed. So I could definitely tell that people want to be out. People want to get out now that COVID has mainly died down in the United States. But although China is in a lockdown, much of their population is locked down now. Hey, Gloria Mills, this Charles Schwab bond advisor, told me 3 days ago there was an inversion going on. Yeah, Gloria Mills. So we had a brief yield curve inversion of the 10-year Treasury yield and the 2. It is no longer inverted now, but it's pretty much inverted. There's only a couple basis points separating the spread between the two. But good to see you, Gloria Mills, and thank you for joining. OF says money supply increases changed macros, and this channel is great for macro econ with a side of Dish. Very cool. Yeah, I think you make a good point there, because you know, with the Federal Reserve continuing to buy bonds or buy not only U.S. Treasuries but mortgage-backed securities, you know, it's funny, Fed Chair Jerome Powell was constantly talking about reducing the size of its balance sheet, or the Fed balance sheet, but now we're on our way to $9 trillion. And I believe in last edition of the Behind the Street newsletter, I actually provided everybody with a link where you could, in real time, look at the Federal Reserve's balance sheet. So Stanley Druckenmiller is mainly regarded as one of the best investors of all time. And one of the things he says that I really like a lot is he says, don't listen to what the Federal Reserve is saying. Pay attention to what they're actually doing. And one of the ways we can do that is by tracking the Fed balance sheet in real time by going to the Federal Reserve website. Hey, Sabrina Fair, good to see you. Hope you're well. My fam says hello, friends. Love New York from Brazil. Good to see you. Wooster says, I think the 5 and 30 also inverted for a period. Yeah, I mean, the yield curve is pretty much flat, which is definitely a sign, not a good sign for the economy. But you're 100% right. So what do you guys think? So OF sort of gave his opinion there. Do you guys think the yield curve is a good indicator to use, especially after 2008 when we have just unbelievable quantitative easing? Do you think these same sort of metrics apply? I'd love to know your thoughts on that. Sabrina Fair, good to see you. Cora says hello, Tom, and everybody. Hey, Cora. Hey, OF says, Tom, did you see the reg enforcement actions around bulk trading that the AP mentioned today? I did not see that, so I was totally tuned out today, OF, for the most part, because it was end of month, end of quarter. So for me, it was just wild at work. But the stock market took a hit. The S&P 500, the Dow, and the NASDAQ were all down. But here's the only thing. I mean, we've had like 2 straight weeks of green in the market, and all of the major indices are back above major 50-day and 200-day moving averages. So I think it's justified for the market to pull back a little bit here. But the only thing that was concerning to me today is we pulled back on really crazy volume. Volume was rocking. But usually volume does rock on the end of each trading day in the quarter. Hey, John is here, says Binghamton, New York here. I wonder how everything's going in Binghamton. Hopefully you guys don't have any more snow on the ground. Usually upstate New York gets hammered by snow. OF says, I was in office news all day. Hey, Kevin Lee is here. What's up, Kevin? Says, good morning, or good afternoon. 913 Atlantic Avenue, Barclays Center, Brooklyn. Good to see you. Diego Salas says, hey, Tom. Thanks for all of these beautiful images and videos from Costa Rica. Good to see you, Diego. Thank you for watching. Sabrina Fair says, hey, Tom, hello, everybody, and happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you. Abdullah is joining us. Good to see you, Abdullah. Fernando says, hello, watching from Brazil. Good to see you, Fernando. John says, Tom, no snow for us here in Binghamton. Lots of rain, though. Jerry says, mutual fund window dressing season. That it is. Good to see you, Jerry. Liz says, wow. No snow. Azul Flores is here. Says, hello, saludos from Mexico. Welcome. We do have quite a bit of viewers from Mexico, so thank you to all of our Mexican viewers. OF says, Tom, office work has value, but productiveness is better at home. Yeah, so OF, I'm not sure if you were on the stream yesterday, but we had a great conversation about the future of work. And the reason why we were talking about it is because Ren10, which is a fellow viewer, posted a very good article where Blackstone, one of the largest private equity firms, is actually going to stop making payments on a 600,000 square foot office building here after one of their main tenants, L Brands, has opted not to renew their lease. So once L Brands leaves the office tower, it's nearly 600,000 square feet, the building's going to be empty. The building's going to be totally empty. And I think that's a very big testament to what's going on in commercial real estate. If you look at the vacancy rates, the top 3 increases in vacancy rates across the country, number 1, San Francisco. I believe number 2 was New York City. And number 3 may have been San Diego. But if you go back and check out that article, they provide some interesting details. Yeah, OF says no need for 10-year leases anymore. John says, Tom, I'm headed to the city on April 10th. Awesome. Daryl is here, says, good evening, Tom, from Chicago, Illinois. Good to see you. Matt S. is looking like the Manhattan skyline. Or you're looking at the Manhattan skyline from Long Island City. Very cool. So everybody, this is the very front of the Empire State Building. Hey, Anna says hello, watching from Columbia. Thanks for what you share with us and the information. Hey, Anna, thank you so much for watching from Columbia. What do you guys think of this view? This is directly standing right across the street from the Empire State Building. I think this is one of the most unique views of the Empire. Hey, Dennis is here. What's up, Dennis Henry? This is a cool shot. Al Baker's here. This is nice. Good to see Al Baker. Hey, Michelle O'Rourke. So I have a bit of news tomorrow. Wow, Michelle O'Rourke. That's awesome. Well, good luck. Good luck to you and your family, Michelle O'Rourke. And thank you for being here. We appreciate it very much. Hey, Richard says hello, Tom from Canada. Love Canada. Hopefully we'll get back to Toronto very soon, Richard. Triple G says, Tom, the reflection on your lens are the grommets on your jacket reflecting back. I don't think so. I think all iPhones have had that issue for whatever reason. Like they're those, what are they called? They're those very little, like blue dots or whatever they're called. Wow, Michelle O'Rourke, well, congrats on the business. Best of luck to you. Yeah, sunshine, solar city lights. Tom, today is the end of the first quarter. Second quarter starts tomorrow. Yeah, right back in action tomorrow. Hey, Barack Berry says hello from Rego Park, Queens. Good to see you. Richard says, I used to live in Toronto. BC is way nicer, just saying. Maybe we'll have to check it out. You know, I was going to go to Toronto, but then the COVID happened. OF says Q2 is now. Lady O, good to see you. Thank you for joining. Hey, Patrick Oaks says, Tom, hello from Ohio. Welcome everybody to Ohio. If you guys look right here, this is the very, very top of the One Vanderbilt building. Danny Kennedy, what's up, Danny? Good to see you. Thank you for joining. We are walking up Fifth Avenue right now. Yeah, nice guys, says you can get the train from Moynihan train station to Montreal. That we can. Juan says hello, greetings from Columbia. What's up, Juan? Good to see you. So we are on the corner of 5th Avenue and 35th Street. We're going to be walking uptown, but check out the very top of the One Vanderbilt. Samantha R says, walks on Wall Street. Do you enjoy reading Atomic Habits? So Atomic Habits, I just picked up the book, and it is probably one of the best books I've ever read in terms of like discipline. So if anybody wants to check out that book, I'm about halfway through it. That book is phenomenal. So Atomic Habits, it's all about how consistency over time leads to great success. And I think that if you could focus on building routines, regimented routines, as opposed to saying, you know, this is my goal, I'm going to do whatever I can to achieve the goal. But if you change your perspective and say, I'm going to adopt the habits every day, small little things, and just do it every day religiously, over time, that's going to compound into a lot of success. So I think, you know, that book has a lot of real-world applications to me, especially being in tech sales, really with anything. So it's a phenomenal book. So please check it out. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. WW says, how long is that book? I think it's about 800 pages or so. But it's a very, very fast read. Very fast read. Yeah, Oliver Rogers' Atomic Habits is one of the best books I've read also. And I consider myself a pretty disciplined person, but at times I have trouble developing solid routines to stick to. Right, so I think that book is really going to help me realize maybe this weekend I'll take a break and say, let me rationalize all of these different activities I need to be doing every day to become a better salesperson, to become a better public speaker, whatever I want to do, become a better writer. But the book is phenomenal. Really, really good stuff. Hey, Sue812 says, hola Tom, hola Sue. It's good to see you. Almost the end of the week. Oh, Lady O, tomorrow I'm going to a coffee meetup with an old client at La Colombe. I know that's one of your favorite spots here. Patricia Ivory says, hey Tom, hey Patricia, good to see you. Katie Corn says, hi, South Florida in the house. So Katie, how is South Florida? Because I got a very concerning text message today from the electric company telling me that the power went out in my house. But then like 5 minutes later, they sent me a text message and said, hey, everything is fine. So I'm wondering if we got a storm today in Southern Florida. Hey, Jack says, join the military. They're great at teaching routines. Yeah. So Jack, out of all of my friends, I've noticed that, one of my friends is actually a TAC-P, which is I believe it's one of the special forces in the Air Force. And he is just, the amount of discipline that kid has is freaking nuts. And I consider myself a pretty disciplined person, but I think I need to be a little bit more regimented in my routines. So I'm definitely looking forward to building up that discipline. Also, another book that is fantastic, if you really want to be a more disciplined person and really better your life, is a book by Jocko Willink. And he is I believe he was a former Navy SEAL. I'm not sure if he was a Navy SEAL. Maybe he was another Special Forces type guy. But, I actually think he was a Navy SEAL. And I forget the name of the book. I think it's called Extreme Ownership. That's what it is. So Extreme Ownership is the name of the book. It really helped me as I've transitioned from an account executive to more of a director spot and sort of running my own thing about how to, delegate down the chain of command and things like that. So please check out that book by Jocko Willink. Very good book. Jack says he's a retired SEAL commander. Yeah, he's very, very good. That book was really, really good for me. And I think the biggest thing it taught me is, being a salesperson, I always want to have control over everything, right? I have like this weird sense that I need to be doing everything, but that doesn't work at scale, right? That may work in the short term, but if you really want to grow and expand, you need to understand how to delegate specific tasks to other people for them to do. You can't do everything yourself. So that book really helped me out with that a lot. But the book was insane. I mean, the stuff that those soldiers went through in the Battle of Ramadi in Iraq was just unreal. I know I couldn't do it. I couldn't compete under the stress that those guys do. Couldn't do it. Thomas, I will check that out. Yeah, somebody says the Jocko podcast is very good. Yeah, so I haven't really been listening to many of the Jocko podcasts. I should probably start, but there's only so much content I can consume. But Jax's and JTAC airmen are badass soldiers. Yeah, so I think my friend told me he's a TAC-P, so Tactical Air Control Party or something like that. But he's crazy. He's wild, that kid. So Sabrina Fair says, yeah, Jocko's podcasts are incredible. Yeah, so a lot of the... here's what I like about Jocko and a lot of those other guys, because technically, I guess you could consider a lot of those books like self-help, right? But for me, I think the vast majority of like the self-help stuff out there is all like this cringy, not like all this like, if you think about it enough, it's going to come true. But like these guys are like, look, if you take delegated actions towards something and you hammer on it consistently every day for 10, 20 years, that's how you build those results. So I think a lot of their routines are more based in reality as opposed to based in, nonsense. That's sort of why I like to pay attention to those people that have actually, helped businesses build and scale, things like that. Photos from around New York says, Tom, if you can incorporate objective parameters in daily routine, it will help to watch numbers improve over time with practice/experience. Very interesting photos from around New York. Thank you for that. Hey, War Walkers, I'm stuck at LaGuardia. War Walker, what are you doing in New York, man? Well, welcome to New York. Yeah, Thomas says it's all about consistency. You're right. Hey, Jeremiah is here. Says, is that the New York Public Library? Yeah. So we are standing outside of the Stephen Schwartzman building, the New York Public Library right here on 5th Avenue. And as we know, Stephen Schwartzman made the majority of his money doing leverage buyout deals on Wall Street. Hey, John, it's good to see you. Welcome. Thomas is showing up is just half the battle. You're right, Thomas. Hey, Nick Lim is here. Says shout out to my boys in New York City. Good to see you, Nick. And ours is the research library. Yeah, and ours. So I actually scheduled an appointment in the research library to read an original copy of Seth Klarman's Margin of Safety. And Seth Klarman's Margin of Safety, I think, is probably one of the greatest investment books ever written. And I actually gave it to you guys for free in the Discord. So if you want to buy a physical copy of Margin of Safety, it's probably going to cost you like $3,000. But I did provide you all with a free PDF of Margin of Safety. So if you click in the link in the description, you will be able to find it. Hey, Pablo says, can you see the Empire State Building from there? You can, but we just have to cross the street real quick. So here we are, 42nd Street. Meta, good to see you. Triple G, welcome. Mets fan 1023 says storms are a coming. Yeah. Well, hopefully they don't. Hopefully it misses New York, but we'll see. So this is the Chrysler building right here. And then all the way up, check out the One Vanderbilt building tonight. Insane. Wow, Nick, that's awesome, man. This is one of my big plans is to host the Olympics in the Upper Bay and have the entire bay lit up with fireworks. Very cool. John, what's your question? Shoot. What's up? Al Baker says, Tom, my newsletter keeps on coming to my spam mailbox. Has that been looked at yet? Yeah, so Al Baker, so I've contacted Review, which is the newsletter sort of platform that I use. And it looks like we may have to migrate over from Review to Substack because we're having a lot of people that whenever I send out the newsletter, it goes to their spam folder, which is not good. But it's weird, even though all the newsletters continue to go to everybody's spam folder, the open rate is like 67%, which is insanely high. Hey, Ramos says, I'm 5 years in enterprise sales and have learned tons from my directors, and delegating is one thing they've taught me. Thanks for the info, just started watching you. Yeah, so Ramos, you're 100% right. That is the exact industry I'm in as well, as enterprise tech sales. And one of the biggest mistakes I made as an account executive is whenever I would sell a deal, so I would sell these massive deals that would be thousands of units. And then during the implementation, if I didn't like how one of the implementation managers or one of the solutions engineers were doing things, I would just like totally bum rush everybody and take over and try to do everything myself. And even though I would do it correctly, that's not how you really scale a business. You need to be able to trust your team to delegate those tasks, to say, look, if I'm pitching the client, if I close the deal, that's it, I'm out of it. Now I transition that implementation process over to the engineering team. That is their task to do. That is their job. And you need to, as the salesperson, be the intermediary to bridge that partnership, to ensure that your customer has the trust not only in you, but to your entire team. So I learned a ton from that book called Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. So I agree with you 100%. But this is the top of the Empire State Building right here on this very hazy day in New York. Gustavo, my friend, says greetings from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Hey Gustavo, welcome. Hope you're enjoying your week, to all my friends in Brazil. Al Baker says, I think it's high because people look for it. Thanks for the update. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to transfer over to Substack, Al. Mike S says, yeah, another tornado warning for New York. Hey, Miami Walking and Driving Tours is Hey Tom, another wicked awesome evening in New York. And another windy evening too. Nick, that is pretty interesting stuff. NMB 045 says your after sale process shouldn't be having to do the engineering yourself for sure. That's a challenge. Yeah, and I think the thing is just about trusting your teammates on the team, right? Because, you know, at the end of the day, you're going to be forced to work with some incompetent people, but you got to be able to trust the engineering team. Hey, Tom Bond says, where in New York? So we are on Library Way, looking directly at the Steven Schwartzman building. Hey, Nick Rock says, hi Tom, I have my boyfriend's kids watching the stream. Well, stay in school, get good grades, and stay disciplined. Oh, I'm feeling the rain. Hold on, I got to take a quick break here and get out my umbrella. So quick intermission. I got to get out the umbrella. It's going to start downpouring. All right, got the umbrella. All right, we are off. We are good. It's going to start coming down like crazy now. If it starts coming down bad, we're just going to duck into the Grand Central Station, might as well. Hey, Marilyn, good to see you. Says, hello, are you planning a special anniversary in April to celebrate? We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, it's almost been 1 year since we've been doing these streams, so I appreciate everybody joining. Thank you so much. So here we have the PwC building, or Price Waterhouse Cooper right here. DWG, good to see you. Cosmo says, Tom, the heavy stuff isn't close yet on the radar, but good to be prepared. Yeah, Cosmo, keep me updated on where we are, because the wind is definitely picking up. Let's see. Yes, I live in New York. OF says, keep up the good work. Good to see you, OF. Hey, Daryl says, Tom, it rained yesterday in Chicago, Illinois. Somebody's laying on the horn over here. All right, so we are approaching 42nd Street. Hey, Ann R says, I agree, you should have an anniversary celebration and invite all of your YouTube fans. That would be interesting. Hey, Aman, thank you so much for the $5 donation, Aman. Much appreciated. Thank you for the support to our pal, Aman. So thank you so much. Hey, Jasmine says, hey, Tom, I am new to your channel. Hey, Jasmine, thank you so much for joining. Much appreciated, and thank you for being here. John says, I support your stream, Tom. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. Hey, Jay says, strong line of storms coming your way in about a half hour. Ramos says, gives them more time to go out and network/travel and look for more of those deals. We sell protective cases for all the major tech manufacturers, so I'm sure familiar with consumer electronics industry. Ah, very cool, man. Well, congratulations on your success. That's fantastic. And hopefully you had a good end of the quarter, too. Hey, Carol Reeves says, Tom, my grandson will be working at PwC in September. That's a fantastic career. He's going to do really well, and he's going to make a lot of money, too. So congratulations to him. That's fantastic. Aman says, that's not my real name. That's my YouTube name. Ah, gotcha. Well, thank you anyway. I appreciate it very much. Hey, Thomas says, the heavy stuff is coming east of Paterson, New Jersey. Hey, Russ is here, says, great job on your lives. Thank you, Russ. You know, it always seems like New Jersey gets hit way worse than New York, and I think that's because New Jersey has so many rivers. So whenever it rains, there's so much overflow and there's so much flooding in New Jersey, unfortunately. Hey, Coffee, Travel, Food, Fashion is here. Says, hey, Tom, good to see you. Hope you had a good Thursday. We are outside of the Charles Schwab building here, which is one of my preferred broker dealers. And we have a great view of the Chrysler building. Let me know if you guys could see the raindrops coming down. I think this is a pretty good shot of the American flag, the Chrysler building, and the rain coming down all in one. Hey, Jessica Rodriguez says, I work in the MetLife building in Grand Central, very busy. Wow. That must be an amazing view, Jessica. You must have a crazy view from the MetLife. Hey, Hunter Butler. What's up, man? Says, hey, Tom, good to see you, Hunter. Santo is here. Welcome. Pixel Logic Ruben is here. Welcome, Pixel Logic. Welcome, Ruben. 8595 says, Tom, when do you think the best week to visit New York for the first snow? A couple weeks in January? Yeah, sometimes, you know, it's weird. New York weather is really, really insane. Sometimes we'll have 70-degree weather on Thanksgiving. Does any native New Yorkers here, fellow New Yorkers, remember like 2 or 3 years ago it was like 75 degrees on Thanksgiving? OF says, random 3G networks going offline, any impacts? So essentially what the major wireless carriers are doing is they're turning down their CDMA networks. So that means 3G is not going to work. I don't think it'll impact a lot of people, because especially if you have a small business account or an enterprise account with any of the major carriers, they're probably going to migrate you. Ramos says, thank you. Our team focuses on B2B, education, and government. We're just being hit with device constraints and increased shipping costs. Thanks again. Yeah, Ramos, I could definitely feel your pain on that one, my friend. You know, the supply chain is really, really walloped a lot of our business too. And unfortunately, that has caused me to raise some prices on my customers. But in order for me to maintain my margins, you know, it's almost like I can't raise prices fast enough. It's insane. All right, everybody, the umbrella is going to come out, because the rain is starting to come down, my friends. Hey, PC says, good evening. Request, please. Once take a stroll around Grace Building on 6th Avenue. Let me know what street it is, and maybe we will do it. I'm bad with the addresses, but I'm good with the street names. So we are standing right outside of Grand Central Terminal and Pershing Square. And whenever I come by Pershing Square, I think of Bill Ackman, his hedge fund, Pershing Square. And I believe about a month ago, he made a sizable investment into Reed Hastings' company, Netflix, after it got hammered about 20% after earnings, down big. But Bill Ackman was there to buy the dip, so we'll see if that investment plays out. I think he's already up a little bit on the position, but definitely not the type of trading style that I do. But then again, I'm not a multi-billionaire like our pal Bill Ackman. Hey, Thomas, his Grace is across from Bryant Park. We'll have to go there. Ramos says, Tom, we've had solid customers, so we're thankful for that. People buy from people they like. Yes, that is true, 100%. Hey, Anthony Tripp says, same design as 42nd and 6th. Tom M says, without revealing any companies, what are the thousands of units that you're selling, for example? So back in the day, so my previous tech company, I was in charge of selling into home health care agencies, hospitals, and nursing homes. So, and there's a little bit of a luck involved, right? Because I was essentially an account executive right during the transition or a mandatory migration over to cloud at a lot of these big healthcare agencies. So, for example, if you were a home health aide in New York or New Jersey or anywhere in the tri-state area, when you would go on a patient visit, you would take all of those medical records on physical pieces of paper. You would clock in and out on physical pieces of paper. So I was in charge of actually selling that software, that EVV software, devices, and the MDM cybersecurity software. And it was pretty much just like a green field, right? So I would go in, present the value proposition of having a turnkey solution that would not only increase your employee retention, but it would increase your EVV rates. Hold on, I think there's an event going on here. So essentially all the home health care agencies essentially have a quota of how fast that they can transition over to electronic visit verification. So your clock in and out has to be recorded electronically, and the GPS location services has to be on in order to register that punch. Because what we've seen a lot, and I really don't want to say a lot, but there has been instances where home health aides are claiming that they're actually on site taking care of the patient when they're not. So a lot of this EVV or electronic visit verification solves for a lot of that activity. So for example, let's say if I try to clock in and out and the GPS shows me that I'm in the Bronx, but my case is supposed to be in Brooklyn, well, that's not going to register that punch, right? But the good news is this increases a lot of the operational inefficiencies, or it increases a lot of the operational efficiencies at these home health care agencies because it eliminates all of the payroll issues, right? So there's no discrepancy between clocking in and out because it's either you clocked in or you didn't, right? And so I think that's the beauty of technology. And from a HIPAA compliance standpoint, now if I'm a home health aide, I'm not walking around with papers that are flying in the breeze on the F train or the D train or the B train or the A train with all of my proprietary clients' information on it. It's securely locked away on a device that is fully locked down with some sort of a mobile device manager. So God forbid if I lose that device, I can have an administrator on the back end at some MSP or whatever technology provider we're consulting with remotely wipe that device so patient information cannot be tampered with. Where are we at now? So we're 42nd Street in Lexington. I want to walk a little bit further down because I want to show you guys what the Chrysler building looks like when you're standing right under it. I think it's going to look cool. Yeah, it does look amazing. Check this out. Let me pull off to the side. I'll show you guys. So this is right in front of the Chrysler building, everybody. Check it out. Hey, DWG, this is the Hyatt open. I'm not sure. I think it may have closed, but I'm not 100% about that. OF says info security. Good to see you. Chris Beeman, welcome. Jasmine says, just wonder if you also make videos in other boroughs in New York City. Very seldom do we, because I'm usually streaming after work and it's hard for me to go to the Brooklyn or Bronx or something like that. Hey, Tyler Silva says, hey, New York, that's Citicorp building. NM says, hey, Tom, I heard the power vest is a thing in the financial world. Do you have one? Are you talking about those Patagonia vests, maybe? Yeah, so speaking about that, something interesting is that I believe Patagonia cut all ties with all of the major investment banks and hedge funds. So supposedly, Patagonia no longer sells custom logoed sort of material to financial firms. Yeah, Ramos is Patagucci. Hilarious. Hey, Ashwin is here again. Says, nice, good to see you. What is my favorite building in New York City? Somebody's asking. That definitely has to be the Seagram building on Park Avenue, my favorite. Wendy England is here. Good to see you, Wendy. So now we're looking at the Chrysler building from right behind Grand Central Station. Serums has just got mine from Google. Good to see you. Shannon says, good evening, Tom. Thank you, Walks on Wall Street. Thank you so much. Hey, Joe C. Welcome, Joe C. Good to see you. Cream says, can you stop talking and let people watch the city that the most of poor people can't go there? There's a lot of poor people that live in New York City. Lori E says, the new camera is very cinematic. Thank you, Lori. Cindy Foley says, good night all. Thank you for the stream. Thank you, Cindy. So we'll take one lap through Grand Central Station because it's just starting to rain. Froderick says, do you day trade or is it a waste of time? I think it's a waste of time. Because you got to understand who you're competing with. You're competing with all of the algorithmic trading and quantitative funds on Wall Street. So like the Citadels, the 2 Sigma. So as volatility has contracted due to high frequency trading, I think the best thing to do is expand your time horizons and try to size into compounders or earnings compounders over the long run. So that could be a company that is compounding out its annualized growth rate at 25% plus per annum, and you want to hold those, for some sizable amount of time, probably 6 to 8 quarters. So this is the main concourse here. Mike S. says, Tom, what do you think about Biden's plan to make a barrel of oil smaller to bring down the price? I actually haven't heard of that, to be honest. I haven't heard that. I'm not sure how that would bring down the price. Is that real? He wants to make I'm not even sure if that's possible. Hey, Jasmine says, the audio is so clear. What do you use for recording? We use just a regular microphone I bought off of Amazon. I think it was like $15. But thank you for that. Hey, Ryan Rodriguez, good to see you. Says, hey, Tom, I'm staying at the hotel right next to the One Vanderbilt. Must have just missed you. Any food recommendations around there? Oh, awesome, man. So I don't have too many food recommendations in this particular neighborhood. But if you go to the Upper West Side, I have a lot of food recommendations. But I think if you go to Restaurant Row, which is very close to Times Square, I would go to Becco. I always recommend that restaurant. It's a very good Italian spot. Yeah, Shannon says, I heard that Biden was going to release some from the reserves. Yeah, but I mean, it's not really going to do anything to bring the price down. Hey, Brad's Brain says, good evening there, Tom. Newsletter tonight, question mark? So there's going to be no newsletter this week. It's already Thursday. I just got way too busy, unfortunately, with the end of the month and the end of the quarter, with deal closures and things like that. So we will be back to our regular scheduled programming starting on Monday. So I apologize. Usually when it's end of the month, end of the quarter, it just gets too crazy. Hey, Ryan Rodriguez says, thanks, I'll definitely take a look at that. 10 miles walk today. So I just wanted to drop in and say, hey, thank you, man. Well, I appreciate it very much. Thank you for always watching, Ryan. Much appreciated. DC/S/A says, I guess it's not about lower prices, instead not let run out. Hey, Ramos says, that oil still needs to be refined, but will take some time. Yeah, I think that a lot of that stuff is nonsense. Tom says, flood the cheap gas, maybe no war. Good to see you, Tom. But Brad, I hope you had a good day. Hey, Man of Steel is here. Good to see you. Ride Freestyle Ohio says, this quality is way too good to be live. Good to see you, man. And thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it very much. Alfred says, Tom, what do you think about Datadog, ticker symbol DDOG? Very good company. I actually have a buddy that's an account executive there at Datadog. I believe their office is in the New York Times building, right in Times Square. But Datadog is a very good company. I give it 2 thumbs up. That's not an endorsement to buy anything, but if you're looking for a job or I can't really advise on investments, but that company is very good, I know for a fact. Yeah, Ride Freestyle Ohio, thank you for being here, my friend. So we're taking a little bit of a pit stop, Ride Freestyle Ohio in Grand Central Terminal, because it just started raining. We're
attention customers.
Potentially, supposedly, supposed to get like a tornado warning or watch, something like that. Hey, Cole says, evening, hope you're doing good aside from busy. Yeah, I think tomorrow's going to be the best day of the week because it is the first of the month. And usually the first of the month, everybody just takes off and sort of relaxes. So end of the quarter, end of the month, crazy week, crazy day. But we made it. So I'll give you guys one more look at the Grand Central Terminal. Jasmine says usually stream from 9 to 11. So we usually try to stream from 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, usually until around the phone dies, which is around 11. Ohio says, Tom, Philly has some severe weather and tornado warnings right now. Yeah, supposedly New Jersey is supposed to get the most of it. Hey, everybody, it's our favorite investment banker turned enterprise software sales lord. It is the Austin Tennis. As if y'all love Datadog, it's rather noisy. Plays nice with this company called PagerDuty. Great transition there. Yeah, I'm a bigger endorser of PagerDuty just because of the Austin Tennis. So Austin Tennis, I believe he's an account executive now at PagerDuty. So good to see you, my friend. Ticker symbol PD for PagerDuty. Hey, Darrell B, good to see you. Hey, Drake Smith says, good evening, sir. Good evening, Drake. If you guys are enjoying tonight's live stream, feel free to leave a like on the video. OF. So in terms of like data collection sites that I use, probably the number one would be Zoom Info, ticker symbol ZI. Zoom Info is a great company for lead generation. And the CEO is really good too. The CEO is Henry Schuck. Hey, Days Works is what's good, Tom. Good to see you. welcome day's work. I leave a like for the engineers. OF says data mining is a legit skill. It is. Hey, Jared Covey says, Tom, Putin has declared oil and gas purchases have to be in rubles starting tomorrow, jeopardizing contracts with the European Union. Whoa. Well, that's not good. But Jared Covey, thank you for that. But look, I think Putin's trying to play hardball, but let's see how long that lasts. Yeah, Nick Lim makes a good point. Nick Lim is like, if you want a good 9-to-5 job, data science is a very good career. Yeah, especially if you're good at Python. Hey, Gloria Mills says, why in-person visits to New York City when you could have these personalized tours? Thank you so much, Gloria Mills. Appreciate it, everybody. So I think we will head out. Hey, Jasmine LOL says, $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Jasmine, for your support. Says, I love your channel. Thank you, Jasmine. Appreciate it. So if you guys want to sign up for a free financial newsletter, if you scan the QR code on your screen, it'll bring you to the homepage of the Behind the Street newsletter, which is a comprehensive newsletter I send out usually every Monday, especially when it's not the end of the month, end of the quarter. So if you scan the QR code on your screen, it'll bring you to a link where you could sign up for the Behind the Street newsletter, where we cover not only U.S. equities markets, but emerging markets as well. And I believe we have almost 800 readers, so thank you for that. Really appreciate it. Nick Lims is an analytics associated with that are going to become even more valuable with AI. Yeah, you're right. The Austin Tennis, is there an ETA for the 24/7 stream? Ooh, yeah, the ETA for the 24/7 stream, I think it's going to be on hold a little bit. I want to get some more footage from the stream, if that makes sense. I want to get more footage for it. I want to make at least a 36-hour continual loop, which I know is a lot of footage, but if I'm running it off of an Azure server, it probably will crank that without an issue. Shauno says, Tom, did you buy gold yet? I did not. Not yet. But Austin Tennis, those were the days of the 24-hour live streams. Those were awesome. Jim says, do you see famous people on the streets there? Sometimes, but I wouldn't even know. I'm horrible with that stuff. OF says, how much work went into the QR code idea? It makes sense and seems accessible. Well, there's if you just go to freeqrcodegenerator.com, it'll just generate it for you and it's free. Yeah, Diana's like, Tom, I'm surprised you're streaming tonight because of the weather. Yeah, it's supposedly supposed to rain like crazy, so we should probably head down to Moynihan train station. Andy S says, did you see Will Smith? Funny. Very, very funny. Hopefully we don't run into Will Smith. Yeah, Triple G says the Bitcoin conference should be good. We will be there. We will be front row during the interview of Kathy Wood. So I'm looking forward to that. Hey, Chris Beeman, thank you so much for the $10 donation, Chris. Much appreciated. This is just because you are so special. Thank you, Chris. Too kind. Thank you, Chris Beeman. Very much appreciated, Chris. Yeah, coffee food travels like Tom. You should be fine just as long as you don't make fun of his wife. Jeez, I want to stay way, way away from that. Jasmine, yes. Hey, Luke Williams, my girlfriend is always wanting to see celebrities when we go to New York City. But last time we saw Dave Portnoy on the streets and she wasn't happy. She's not a fan of his. Wow. Yeah, I think Dave and the Barstool guys have a, what's it called? Have an office here. Somewhere. I'm not sure where the office is exactly, but yes, so Austin Tennis, we will be going to the Michael Saylor talk. I'm going to be trying to stream the entire event. So essentially what it's probably going to look like is I'm just going to set up the camera and hopefully have the live stream going just for 10 hours straight for the entire conference, and people could check in and out as they please. You know, you could check out whatever keynote speaker you'd like. It's not going to be the normal stream like we're doing tonight when I'm talking. I'm probably just going to set up the camera in the press box and just stream. Hey, British Gray is here. Good to see you. British Gray is joining us all the way from Tampa, Florida. Always good to see you, British Gray. Nick Lim, good to see you. Good to see you, Nick. OF says, Santos says the iPhone 13 mini camera is awesome. The Austin Tennis, so you're saying Tom doesn't get a one-on-one interview with Kathy Wood. So the Austin Tennis, I will say this. We should be uploading a standalone interview, but I won't say who it's with. Let's just say that. Hey, Christopher says, Tom, try and stream from the upcoming New York City Auto Show at Jacob Javits Center. That'd be cool. Maybe we'll try that. Hey, Carol H is here. Says, hey, Tom, happy Thursday. Good to see you, Carol, as always. Hope you're doing well. Carol, busy day today. Obviously, end of the month, end of the quarter. So hopefully the end of the quarter treated you well. Yeah, the Austin Tennis is like, Tom, if the person's name rhymes with Bathy, I would be happy. All right, so we are approaching 5th Avenue. We are gonna walk up to Radio City Music Hall, Rockefeller Center, and turn back. Hey, Gloria Mills. So now we are looking at Salesforce Tower. Salesforce is a massive enterprise software company, really the pioneer in software as a service, or SaaS. Ticker symbol is CRM. Carol H says, thanks. Hope the week treated you well too. So Carol, I just picked up a really, really good book. I'm not sure if you read it, but if you haven't read it, I think you'd enjoy it a lot. It's called Atomic Habits. So I picked it up about, I think it was yesterday. I'm already halfway through it. But it was probably one of the best books I've ever read so far on like discipline. So check it out. I'm not sure. Let me know if you've heard of it, but it's called Atomic Habits. Very good book. So Austin Tennis, I think that book would be really good for you too. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but it's really, really good for salespeople, especially if you have to plan your time. So if you haven't checked it out, Austin Tennis or Carol H, check out Atomic Habits, especially for you, Austin Tennis. I think it'll help you out a lot with sales and meeting targets and quotas and things like that. Carol H is, I've heard of it. I'll definitely pick it up. It's really good, like really good. I couldn't put it down. I'm probably going to finish the rest of it on the Long Island Railroad tonight. Hey, Laytha's here. Good to see you, Laytha. Wow, check out this building. This is 522 Fifth Avenue. For some reason, it looks really unique. Check it out. I think they just redid the entire facade here. Hey, Perry is here. Says, hey, Tom. Good to see you, Perry. Days Works, as you heard about the Twilio investigation, I did. So they're even investigating Twilio employees for insider trading, which is pretty interesting. Oh, this is the Morgan Stanley building here, 522 Fifth. It looks like there's all brand new retail space in the bottom of it too. Yeah, OF's the same as bulk trades in general. Yeah, Cosmo, doesn't it look nice in there? I'm not too sure exactly what's going to go in there, but it looks like a nice place. The facade looks all brand new. It looks good. You know, this Best Buy is relatively new too. They just moved it, I think, 2 blocks uptown. Steven, good to see you. Laytha. Hey, Psychic says, I'd be interested to see you do a video on your book collection. So that is in the works. And I think I'm going to start uploading my library to the Discord for everybody to check out. Yeah, Cosmo, it sort of reminds me of One Pen too. It does. Cosmo, have you been to that coffee shop in One Pen? I've been meaning to check it out, but I just haven't got a chance to go to it yet. Hey, Tina Toomey is here. Good to see you, Tina. Hope you are well. Hey, Jasmine says, would you talk about cryptocurrencies and tax? My accountant just gave me bad news of how much tax I owed from gains of cryptocurrency investments. Yeah, so unfortunately, I'm not allowed to really talk about or give tax advice, right? I'm not licensed, I'm not registered for that. I would honestly just listen to your CPA, right? I think if you have any thoughts about your CPA maybe being, maybe if you think he's acting unethical or something like that, maybe I would change your CPA. But essentially how it works with cryptocurrencies is it just gets taxed the same as stocks. So let's say if you sell a stock in the same trading calendar year, it would be a short-term capital gains tax, in which case you'd be taxed at the higher amount. So that's technically one of the main reasons why I like to elongate my holding period, because I don't want to pay the tax, right? I don't want to pay that short-term capital gains. But yeah, in full honesty, talking about tax is just one of those really tough situations where I know a lot of other people on the internet talk about it and give tax advice, but it's if you're not licensed or you're not certified, that is a big no-no. So I would say just listen to your CPA, but if you're looking to invest in the cryptocurrencies for the long term, I would say whichever sort of project you're looking at, I would sort of look at the roadmap or the white paper and ask yourself, could I invest in this and hold it for 5 years? So for example, I do have exposure to Bitcoin and Ethereum. I don't really trade these assets. I accumulate over time and just hold them because I don't want to pay the tax. And then hopefully down the road, I'll be able to collateralize them and borrow money against those assets. Hey, Days Works is the Comcast building is looking nice tonight. It is. I think we're going to get a better look at it 2 blocks up. Tina Toomey, good to see you. DWG says, where are the best coffee beans in New York City? Well, we actually have our pal Joey that owns a coffee company. So we actually have a viewer of the Walks on Wall Street channel that actually owns a local small business coffee company called Cafe Ami right here in New York City. Check it out. Hey, Chris Beeman says, Tom, be safe tonight. Good night from Arizona. Thank you, Chris. Much appreciated, and thank you for the support, my friend Chris Beeman. Hey, Long Island Duck is here. What's up? Says, hey, what happened to the wind? So it seems like the wind has been dying down. Hopefully this isn't the, what do you call it, the calm before the storm. Hopefully not. Hey, New York Travel says, thank you, Walks on Wall Street. Thank you for watching. Somebody says, what do you think about the yield curve? So we talked about the 10 and the 2s briefly today, at the beginning of the stream. Savi, good to see you. So we're coming up on Saks Fifth Avenue here. I think this is 47th Street, no, 49th Street. Hey, NE says, Tom, my company started to sublease its office on Water Street and is moving everything to its current Jersey City location and a very small office in Brooklyn. Wow. That's crazy, NE. What do you think about the move? So does that mean you're going to have to commute to Jersey now? M-Size says, Tom, what are your views on the Russia-Ukraine war? I'm going to pass on that question tonight, to be totally honest. My brain is a little bit fried. But I mean, I apologize for passing on it, but I mean, it's end of the month, end of the quarter. I've given my opinions on it before, but my brain is shot because I know there's going to be a battle in the comments, and I'm not mentally prepared for that right now. But it's good to see you, my friend. You know, in the last edition of the Behind the Street newsletter, I did give some in-depth thoughts and opinions on it in relation to the economy, not really in relation to politics, though. Yeah, D says, look at those flags. Check this out. So this is Saks Fifth Avenue. Very patriotic out here. I'm liking it a lot. New York Travel Diary says, Tom, is the severe rain and thunderstorm happening today in New York? Well, it's supposedly supposed to happen. I hope it doesn't. But according to the local news, they said it's supposed to start at around 10 o'clock at night. NE says, so I work in Tampa office, but the company's headquarters is in Jersey. Ah. NM. So we have an NE and an MM here. NM says, hey Tom, have you ever seen the movie Family Man with Nicolas Cage? I have not. It's about a finance guy whose office happens to be in the Seagram building. No way. I'm going to have to watch that tonight because it's my favorite building. I'm going to literally watch that tonight because that is my favorite building in New York City is the Seagram building. You just made my night if that's real. Hey, Adam Smith is here. Good to see you, Adam. We are here at Rockefeller Center, 30 Rock. The Austin Tennis says, Tom, do you use Salesforce in your day job? No. So in my other tech company, we did use Salesforce, but now I actually use a company that's a competitor of Salesforce called Zoho, Z-O-H-O. NMAI says, which newsletter was it about the Russia war? So I believe it was the one called Operation Desert Storm. So I wrote a piece in the Behind the Street newsletter, and the newsletter is not political, right? It's how do we tie finance how do we tie local events, or not local, global events or macro events into finance? So I believe it was called Operation Desert Storm, and I did a little bit of a study on the market movements in the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average on the day of Operation Desert Storm, and compared it to the potential outcome on the day of the Russian invasion. And so far, it's almost played out exactly the same, as crazy as it sounds. But for those who want to read it, if you scan the QR code on the screen, it'll bring you to a screen where you could read all of my work, all the newsletters, and you could receive it for free every single Monday if you scan the QR code and punch in your email address. Hey, so somebody says, can you show the Goldman Sachs building? We can. So we may be streaming on Saturday from downtown. So Goldman Sachs is at 200 West Street. At least I still think that's where it is. I think the main Goldman Sachs building is 200 West. So we will be streaming probably on Saturday from down there, because I really want to take a look at Federal Hall as well as the New York Stock Exchange. But this is 30 Rock right here. Yeah, Latha, I kind of like this new gardening. I guess you could call it a spade, I guess, here. Yeah, Ruby Falcone says, yes, we're going to see the statue of the Fearless Girl. Absolutely. I can't go back to Miami without seeing the Mighty Bowl and the Fearless Girl. Can't do it. So this is the very top of the One Vanderbilt Tower right here. Hey, New York Travel Diary says, Tom, what camera are you using? We are using an iPhone 13 mini. But previous to this, we would use an iPhone 11. But unfortunately, that did break. Yeah, Perry says, it's sad to see the plethora of mom and pop businesses going out of business in New York City. It is. It's unfortunate. Hey, Triple G says, weather should be nice on Saturday for Tom's stream. Hopefully. I'm sick of wearing these winter jackets. So if the weather is nice on Saturday, I promise we'll break out the skateboard and we'll have our first annual skateboarding stream of the year. I promise. So I believe we heard from a viewer that they are going to be installing a roller rink here. So obviously during the winter, there was the ice skating rink right here at 30 Rock Rockefeller Center. But if you take a look at it now, you'll see that I believe it's going to be rollerblading here. Yeah, Cosmo Scary's like, no way you got a jacket on now. I got the winter jacket on now, Cosmo, because when I walked to the train station today from Long Island, it was raining, it was this misty wind, it was horrible. But if you guys are enjoying the stream tonight, feel free to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Jasmine says, how often do you stream in Miami? So we usually stream about 5 days a week. Whenever we're in Miami, we just do our regular streaming schedule. So we'll be in downtown Miami and the like. Yeah, Latha says it looks like a pool with a cover on it. It does, actually. Well, supposedly, and Latha, I'm not sure if 100%, but supposedly it's going to be for roller skating, like roller rink or something like that. Yeah, NMAT says, Tom, I missed the ice skating rink at Rockefeller Center. Yeah, I do too, but the good news is I archive all of my old live streams. So if you want to see some of the live streams from December around the holidays, you could see the stream where everybody is ice skating here. Long Island Ducks says, Tom, in 1977, I saw a movie being shot at the rink. What movie was it? Do you know? Or was it just like some random generic one? But just briefly before I forget, everybody, if you want to read the Wall Street Journal article that gives a little bit of a history on stock market performance throughout Q1, if you type !stock, S-T-O-C-K in the chat, I did program the Nightbot to drop that link to the Wall Street Journal article. But if history repeats itself, usually Q1 and Q2 during any sort of midterm election year, and we are in a midterm election cycle right now. So usually stock market returns are either negative to flat during midterm election cycles, but in Q3 to Q4, that's actually when we could see really positive returns, because essentially the market is looking for confirmation to see if we're going to have a gridlock in Congress and things like that. And there's an old saying on Wall Street that Wall Street likes an incompetent government, because when you have a split government, nothing gets done, no more new rules and regulations. So according to history, if history repeats itself, we could see a strong Q3 and Q4 after the midterm elections. Hey, Jasmine says, I see you have a lot of videos in Miami. Do you have to travel back and forth between New York and Miami so often? Yes, I do, for work. So a lot of my clients are in between New York City and Miami, especially since I focus on healthcare. There's been a lot of M&A activity in the home healthcare market of a lot of home healthcare agencies that couldn't really weather the storm through COVID. They're actually getting bought out and acquired by some of the better capitalized agencies. So a lot of M&A activity going on in home healthcare and nursing homes. And the good news is that a lot of my existing clients are actually participating in a lot of this activity. So that means potential more business for me. Oh, let's see what this is. So this is called the Flag Project. Let's check it out. So the Flag Project, April 1st through May 1st. Let's see what this is all about. Hey, New York Travel Diary says, thank you, we'll be watching and following you. Good night. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate that a lot. Hey, Lodi is here. Says, hey everybody, hope you've had a great evening. Good to see you, Lodi. And thank you for supporting the channel. Much appreciated. Let's see how the rink looks like from up here on this side. Hey, XOXX Bob is here. What's up, Bob? Hope you're having a good day. Bob, it's finally above freezing in New York. It was actually a pretty good day today. I think it'll be a perfect day and night should the weather hold out on us here. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of talk in the comments about mortgage rates creeping up. So that 30-year fixed rate mortgage, I think today was about 4.79% on its way to 5%. And there's been a lot of talk about how higher interest rates could potentially put some pressure on the market, which I think that's probably fair to say, but I don't think we'll see a cataclysmic fallout like what we saw in 2008. But if history tells us anything, you know, we're starting to see a lot of those single-family home builder stocks roll over here. And usually that's a leading indicator for the housing market. So a lot of the REITs, or the real estate investment trusts, and the single-family home builders, they're getting hammered right now. So I think the market is forecasting potentially a Q2, Q3 correction in the in the housing market, which I think will actually be a pretty good thing. I mean, the prices of homes are just crazy. So I think if people can get at least some relief with prices coming down, I think the demand is sufficient enough for people to maybe buy, hopefully getting their home a little bit more affordably than they can now. So here we are at the Rainbow Room, NBC Studios near Radio City Music Hall. Yeah, hey, Murky is here. Good to see you, Murky. Long time no see. I hope you're doing well. It says, yeah, it's not only homes, but everything is high now. So this is the little advertisement, I guess, for the Top of the Rock. Hey, Hassan B is joining us. Good to see you, Hassan. Welcome. This is the only thing better than the view of Rockefeller Center is what? Man, watching this video really gets me excited for summer. I can't wait to just walk around and there's green on the trees. Is the view from the top. Yeah, so that's true, Tom. You're right. It says higher interest rates make bonds more attractive and give competition to bonds. Well, I think a lot of people are going to get smoked in bonds, and I think a lot of people have already gotten smoked. I think there was more losses in the bond market so far than all of the financial crisis, because obviously, as everybody knows, the price of a bond moves inverse to its yield and vice versa. Hey, EBITDA, what's up, my friend? EBITDA, we were just doing a quarter wrap-up, end of the month, end of the quarter. So EBITDA, hopefully your quarter was good. Hopefully you wrapped up, everything is good. Start of a brand new quarter tomorrow, start of a brand new month. To be honest, everybody, I'm not going to take the day off tomorrow in terms of work, but I'm going to tone it down a little bit because it's just been relentless this week. Hey, Salvador says, saludos, Tom, from McFarland, California. Saludos to you. Thank you for joining. We're on 6th Avenue, passing Radio City Music Hall on 50th Street. Hey, Dow Jones. What's up? This is MSG 1 month piece from Boston. Well, enjoy it, my friend. Think you're going to have a good time. Who are you seeing in MSG? Hey, NMAT says, Tom, what will happen to those who have investments in oil and gas? Well, I don't know. Here's my take on the on crude oil. I mean, if you type in ticker symbol CL, so ticker symbol CL is the ticker for Crude Oil Futures. We sold off pretty harshly from about 130, now down to 100. We're holding steady at the 50-day moving average. But if we crack the 50-day moving average on explosive volume, it's over for the oil trade, in my view. So watch that 50-day moving average. Oh, Dow Jones says you're seeing fish. So I think EBITDA is a big fish fan, isn't? Aren't you, EBITDA? Nick Lim says, I like generating alpha, don't we all? Yeah, Dow Jones is EBITDA and Dow Jones for the win. Dow Jones, I like your profile picture there. Is that a cyberpunk or CryptoPunk? Yeah, but I could have sworn EBITDA was telling us about how he saw a fish in Madison Square Garden too. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, EBITDA is this huge fish fan, seen them more than 70 times. Wow. Well, maybe you guys will be at the same concert. That'd be awesome. All right, so let's start our descent. We will head across town. What number punk do you have? I'd be curious to see. So Dow Jones, I'm flying to Miami for the Bitcoin conference. We're going to be streaming. So I've been talking to the representative there that I'm working with. So I'm going to try to get there extremely early to set up the camera and live stream all the keynote speeches. So the way I want to set it up is I'll just leave the live stream going for anybody who just wants to pop in and out. You know, no pressure to stay there the entire time. If you like a keynote speaker, if you want to tune in, listen to his speech or her speech, you could do that. This is Mizuho, which is a Japanese investment bank here. So I think I'll just leave the stream on a continuous loop. There won't be any talking from my side. So if you want to just check in during the day as you're working, if maybe you want to listen to Michael Saylor, maybe you want to listen to Michael Novogratz or Kathy Wood, you could just pop in and out as you guys please. Hey, Orland Edwards is here. What's up, my friend? Hopefully you had a good day. Orland is actually a school teacher here in New York City, so kudos to you. Wow, check out Barclays tonight. Ruby Falcone, thank you so much for the time check. Hey, Estelle is joining us. Says Tom, enjoy the rest of your night. Bye, Tom and everybody. Thank you, Estelle. Much appreciated. Estelle is joining us from the land down under. Hey, Arrow 1. I'm not planning on getting an electric skateboard. I'm still gonna rock with the kick skateboard. Hey, Travis Webb says, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? So coming up at the corner here, if you make a right and walk all the way uptown, you'll slam right into it. We were actually streaming outside of Carnegie Hall last night. Hey, Mark says, the part of town looks so calm and peaceful tonight. I'd def be walking if I live there. Yeah, usually Midtown dies down a little bit after 8 o'clock. Because mainly these are all office buildings, a lot of investment banks. Oh, it's a joke. Yeah, that went. I'm horrible with jokes. Everything goes over my head. Latha's over here like, Tom, it's a joke.
It does the F train.
So this is Bobby Van's Steakhouse. Latha says, I almost never get jokes, but I've got that one. I'm surprised Bobby Vans is locked tight tonight. Arrow 1 says, well, I hope this camera has a good stabilizer. Yeah, I think, is the stream shaky tonight? Maybe it's because I'm walking faster than normal. Cole says Bobby Vans used to be very good. Yeah, I think Del Frisco's is probably a little bit better, to be honest. I take a lot of clients to Del Frisco. Hey, Pacific Desert Raid. Good to see you, my friend. As always, hope you had a good Thursday. So if you look straight ahead, you're going to see Times Square in the distance. Arrow One says, good stabilization if you were going to be skateboarding kicking. Yeah, so it's weird. We used to do all of our live streams on the skateboard, and I gotta go re-watch them because I think the stabilization was pretty decent. Hey, Jung is here, says, what a lovely night. Thank you for being here. Yeah, XOXX Bob says, yikes. Pacific Desert Raid says, hey, Tom, looking forward to the conference on April 6th. So am I. I mean, there's going to be so many people there that hopefully I can get a spot to stream. But if not, I'm going to try to do my best, everybody. Wow, check out just the amazing colors on the Barclays building tonight. If you guys like the decal on the Barclays building, give the stream a thumbs up. I mean, look at that. Insane. NMAT says, won't we hear the noise from the skateboard on the stream? Yeah, and supposedly everybody loved it when I would skateboard during the stream. A lot of people said they would watch the stream as like an ASMR because they like the sound of the skateboard. Now we got to pull up a link to one of my old skateboarding streams. I'm curious. Yeah, those billboards are brilliant, I agree. So this is 49th Street. Yeah, Ruby Falcone's like, Tom, I love the wheels on the pavement. So how about this? If it's really nice out on Saturday, we're going to do the first skateboarding stream of the year. So I'm not sure what the weather outlook is, but if it's over 55 degrees and there's no rain, we're going to break out the skateboard and we're going to do a trifecta stream, 3 hours, 20 miles. Okay, maybe not 20 miles, but we'll do like a 2.5 hour skateboarding stream. I think it'll be fun, It'll be like a welcome to spring. We'll bang out 10 miles on the board and we'll have a good time. It'll be the official start to Q2, the Q2 skateboarding stream. Hey, nice guys, it's Tom. Tomorrow I'm going to be walking around the village. Should be a great Friday in New York City. Yeah, so nice guy. I'll be down there too. Maybe I'll see you around. I'm going to be down that way during the day. Ottos is looking forward to see it, Tom. Yeah, if we, I got to check the weather outlook, but if it's nice, I want to get outside because, just the weather in New York has been brutal lately. Arrow 1, hilarious. Yeah, Pacific Desert Raid, hilarious. So to the right, this is actually a really good place. So I always go to the Gongcha in Koreatown. This is actually a really good spot. I think this one just opened. If you're into like bubble tea and things like that, this is a good spot. Really good spot here. Hey, Dow Jones, his new sub. Enjoy the rest of your walk. Hey, thank you, Dow Jones. Appreciate it. Dow Jones, if you want to connect with us on the Discord as well, feel free to click the link in the description. And if you have a Twitter and you want to connect with us on Twitter, you could follow at Walks Wall Street. And that's where I mainly post a lot of my financial updates and things like that. Hey, War Walker is still with us. Good to see you, War Walker. So now it's 48th Street, walking down Broadway. Walking past the Morgan Stanley building. Hey, Bronx Zoo is here. Good to see you. Hope you're well, Bronx Zoo. All right, now here are the bright lights at Times Square. You know, every time the weather guy in New York City says it's going to be like the worst storm ever, it turns out to be the polar opposite. It's like the most beautiful night, the most picture-perfect night here in New York City. Not a drop of rain, not a cloud in the sky. Yeah, Lady O. You know, Lady O, it's almost unbelievable. I think there's more people that are subscribed to the channel now when we were just doing the walking stream than when we were doing the skateboarding stream. It's weird to think about that, but it's true. But Lady O, how are you holding up in New Jersey? Hopefully it's not raining. Hey, Al Baker says weatherman is the best job in the world. You could be right or you could be wrong 50% of the time and still keep your job. Yeah, I compare weathermen to economists. If you want to be wrong the majority of the time, sign up to be a meteorologist or an economist, and you'll get paid big bucks for being wrong. That is the joke of the town. So fun fact, I've said it many times, but when I was a teenager, I used to work right in this building here, this Express. I used to stock the shelves. My shift used to be 3 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock at night to 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, Nick Lim. This is Tom. The number one way to be wrong and make a lot of money is central banking. Hilarious. Hey, Marcano says, love these videos. I'm from the Caribbean. Hey, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Much appreciated. Cooking's like, wow, sounds brutal. And this is what the underworld in New York City looks like. Yeah, I mean, the 35 batting average is fantastic, you're right. Well, also, I mean, some of the greatest investors of all time, they're only right about 30% of the time. It's just whenever they're right, they make a ton of money, right? So Stanley Druckenmiller is really only right about 35% of the time, but he cuts his losses so quickly, and he lets his winners ride, and he puts crazy amount of size on. I mean, he'll put 90% of the account in a trade and make $1 billion. A lot of tourists out tonight. And this is the H&M building. Hey, Taylor C says, are you going to get some coffee? Tell me. I haven't been to New York City since 2013. Yeah, I'm down. Good to see you, Taylor. Gaming says, what do you think about Wi-Fi 3? Are you talking about Web 3? You know, Citigroup actually just published an amazing book or research book to their clients about Web3. I'm going to try to see if I can get my hands on it and see if I can share it in the Discord with everybody. But my phone may die, everybody. I'm on 5% battery. So if you love the stream tonight, feel free to leave a like on the videos. Subscribe to the channel if you are new for more live streams. And if you want to sign up to receive the Behind the Street newsletter, which is a free financial newsletter that I write for everybody every Monday, if you type !news, NEWS, in the chat, the Nightbot will drop the link where you could sign up for free. And thank you everybody for reading it, because we have over 750 people now. So thank you so much for that. We'll see if we can make it to the end here. Marty Lewis, thank you. Well, the good news is we got to stay out of the rain. Oh man, this guy's gonna harass me. But good to see you, Marty Lewis. Pacific Desert Raid, good to see you. Somewhat knowledgeable geek says you should get a power bank. Yeah, I think if we got a power bank, we'd probably never leave. Or we'd probably never end the stream. Yeah, photos from around New York says the rain stayed off, which is good. So here we're at the NASDAQ. War Walker, thank you for joining. Pacific Desert Raid, much appreciated. Arum Z, thank you so much. All of our moderators, appreciate you joining tonight. We got lucky on tonight's stream. The rain did stay off. Yeah, Lady O's like, if we had a backup battery, we'd be here the next morning. Latha, thank you. Taylor C, this is where you going. I do have to call it a night. I have to go home, get some rest, and finish out the week strong. But we will be back for another live stream tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And to the Mighty Bull, have a good night wherever you are, because there is always a bull market somewhere. And you just need to know where to look. And I'll see everybody right back here on the stream tomorrow. If you scan the QR code, it'll bring you to the Behind the Street newsletter website where you could sign up for free. Don't miss it. And I'll see everybody right back here in the greatest city on earth tomorrow. Have a good one, everybody. Take care and finish the week strong. Have a good one.